Keneal says, ego is a powerful thing. 49ers brass is saying this is exactly how we planned. We're 5 steps ahead of everyone. How dare you question us? Yeah, and I think it's pretty clear that everyone that's an insider is saying, no, that's not the real story. And by insisting that it was, you're making us look bad. And I don't know. It just does. Yeah.
I mean, this story was existing, right? This was kind of the approach they took after the draft. Like everybody else thought we were going one way, but we've been planning to go the other way the whole time. But the reality,
to me, again, like that was very much John Lynch's narrative, and Kyle blows it up when he says, "Oh, I definitely wanted Matt Stafford."
Right. He just blew it up because it looks like the 49ers went through the quarterback offseason the exact same way. Every single person who was trying to analyze this situation went through it. When a guy becomes available, ooh, he might look good for the 49ers. Ooh, it's not really working out. We can't really get him right. Move on, move on, move on. And they exhausted every avenue. And you know what? They finally landed at what they believe is the right answer. What I know you think that that's the best option, what they did in terms of finally trading up and getting Trey Lance. I think financially the rookie quarterback was the best move, even though I still love Matthew Stafford's contract. And while Trey Lance wasn't my favorite quarterback before the draft, I'm all aboard the bandwagon now. So we'll see what happens. But this, to me, sums it up exactly. The narrative that was originally kind of going, they basically killed that this week.
Yeah. And I mean, just Kyle Shanahan, the way I look at it is like he went on the McVay podcast unnecessarily and contradicted John Lynch and the organization's narrative. And that is what he did when he sort of crashed the pre-draft press conference. That's the only verb I can think. He crashed it. That was John Lynch's press conference. He's trying to set a narrative about why the team moved up and what they're looking for. And here comes Kyle Shanahan uninvited being like, I want a starting quarterback. I need a starting quarterback. Better get a starting quarterback. It's like, damn, man, like, can you just at least be on the same page as John Lynch for a minute? And he's like, no, not.
And it's unintentional too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he realizes it. And I'm sure if Kyle Shanahan, I'm sure if he sees like what you and I are saying or what other people like Florio are saying, he's saying, oh, these people are grasping at straws and creating narratives out of nothing. Well, the problem is you have to maintain consistency when you're in a high-profile position and a leader of an entire organization, because otherwise people like you who are paid and Florio who are paid to ask these questions are going to ask these questions because the facts say you should ask these questions. Like them always being bewildered that people are always speculating about every quarterback when they've been consistently saying on Jimmy, you know, they'll do that sometimes in pressers. Like, oh, I don't know why people keep speculating about Jimmy. The other players will do it. Well, you create a lane for people to speculate about Jimmy. Like I was telling you this on the phone. I truly believe with all my heart, if the 49ers hadn't flirted with every available quarterback and they just gone through with Jimmy Garoppolo, you would not be talking about Jimmy Garoppolo 1,200 times in the last year. You would talk about him. You would give your opinions on him. You would maybe project him and all of that. But at some point, you would be like, what else is there to talk about? You're not going to be talking about Jimmy versus Sam Darnold, Jimmy versus Teddy B, Jimmy versus Andy Dalton, Jimmy versus Trey Lance, Jimmy versus Mac Jones, Jimmy versus Justin Fields. How many different Jimmy verses have we had to do? And it's not because we want to do them. It's because the 49ers make the situation where if you want to talk about something interesting and you want to create and you want to have some sort of conversation, that's what's relevant, because the 49ers are interested in Sam Darnold. They're interested in Teddy B. They're interested in Stafford. They're interested in Brady. They're interested in Mike Silver says, oh, Nick Mullins, they could have a short leash on Jimmy Garoppolo. They have all these things that they keep putting out where the conversations about Jimmy Garoppolo is not the fault of anybody who talks about Jimmy Garoppolo. It's the fault of the 49ers.
Yeah, they're interested in any quarterback with a pulse. Biz Bang Bang Niner Gang says, we need to get Shanahan on your show, fans. Let's push Shanahan into it. Grant, hey, if you can get him to do it, good on you, man. Appreciate it. Let's go for it. We got another one. Hold on. We need that Juszczyk interview. I don't think he likes me either. We'll see. Maybe Juszczyk. I think we'll see. I'm not going to do any this week, though. I'm going on vacation in a couple of days. Plus, there's no way I can top that Jimmy Ward interview. And it's not that he was just so good. He's the best interview in the history of interviews.
I was also thinking, like, I feel like the other thing that hasn't been getting enough credit is just what a great personality Jimmy Ward has. Like, you and Jimmy Ward obviously had incredible chemistry, But for him,
anyone would have incredible chemistry. You know,
I
before I
wouldn't
went
say
on,
that. I wouldn't
I
say
saw
that.
him go on with Brad Graham, who does the R49ers.
He did awesome too.
Dude, he did so good. And I was like, oh man, like I need to let Jimmy Ward say whatever he wants to say because this guy did a great job. And Jimmy just was dying to God, he was basically explaining the DeAndre Hopkins story. The time that him and DeAndre Hopkins got in a fight. I was like, dude, man, Brad's awesome. Gold. It was as good as anything in my interview. And I saw that like 2 hours before my thing. Thank God. So I was like, okay, Jimmy has this side of him. I know it exists. I got to get that out of him in this interview. And thank God I got there eventually. He was censoring himself. I was like, no, go for it. Don't worry about it.
Right. And I love that you had these broad outlines and you just got him started and you would just kind of, I thought you did an amazing job. I thought he was fantastic. And I also, Brad also killed it with Jimmy. Brad kills it whenever he has athletes on there, especially when he posts the stuff on Twitter because I'm not on Instagram. So when I see the DSF account post it and you got Brad's face, you got a little background jam going, you got the athletes talking, it is sick. It is so sick.
Absolutely.